Hello everyone. Today we are going to work on real zeros of polynomial functions. In this section, we are going to look at long division. And we're going to use that to divide polynomials by other polynomials. So that's what we'll be just doing in this section, practicing a lot of problems dividing a polynomial by another polynomial. We're going to start with a very simple example. So here is our first example. We have this quadratic polynomial given by 3x squared plus 19x plus 28, and we're going to divide it by x plus 4. Okay, so as we do our normal division, we are going to do the same over here. So let's start with this. So in a normal division, let me start here with a simple example. Suppose we want to divide 24 by 8. We already know 8 times 3 is 24. How do we do that? We do 24 and we write like this, 8. Now remember, your 8 is the divisor and 24 is the dividend, and we know 8 times what? 3. That's the quotient, and when you write down 8 times 3, you write it down right beneath the number which is inside this little opening of this little rectangle kind of thing, and then you subtract and you get a 0. So remember, 8 is the divisor, 3 is the quotient, 0 is the remainder, and 24 is the dividend. So this is a very simple way we have been doing it so many years, okay? We're going to use the same idea, but we are going to have now polynomials. Okay, let's first write that down. So remember, 3x squared plus 19x plus 28, okay? So this is x plus 4. Now, keep in mind, we want to subtract the elements, but now here we have variables involved. So the first thing we do is, when we write down these problems, specifically we look at the divisor, okay? Now this is the divisor here, and x plus 4 is the divisor is x plus 4 and the dividend is 3x squared plus 19x plus 8. Now let me write it down very clearly here. 3x squared plus this, guys, is called the dividend. Okay, that's where it is, inside this little rectangle kind. And then x plus 4 is we call the divisor. Okay, so x plus 4 is outside and this little rectangle kind of thing. So now we're going to start it. Now when we write down, we always make sure that inside this little square rectangular box, the elements of the polynomial start with the highest degree and then we go one less at a time till we reach a constant. So here, if 3x squared is given, then the next term should be having a x, and we already have that, and the last is a constant. So it is in the kind of a standard form of writing a polynomial, highest degree till the very end. Now we're going to cancel each element one at a time. So the first thing we're going to cancel is 3x squared. So what we do is we look at what is given in the divisor to us. We have an x. So what should we multiply to x to get 3x squared? As we all know, it's going to be 3x. So when we multiply 3x to x plus 4, so the first thing is 3x to x gives me 3x squared. Then this 3x has to be multiplied to 4, because remember this one is multiplied to this expression which has two terms, x plus 4. So 3x times 4 gives me 12. So plus 12x. Now, as we do in the other normal division terms, we subtract or change the signs which we just wrote. So we're going to change the signs here, and this is now going to be a minus, a minus. So what happens? And then we normally do as we do in our other divisions here. So 3x squared minus 3x squared cancels out. What are we having? 19x minus 12x. What do we get? A 7x. And now we get the other term which is left now is 28. So this comes down plus 28. Now what should we multiply to this divisor? X plus 4, so that 7x gets. That's the thing we have to cancel. Okay, that's the first priority. So 7x. So x is already there, so 7 is missing. So we write 3x plus 7. So here is 7x, then 7 times 4, 28. Now what are we going to do? We are going to change the signs as in a normal division. So this cancels out, the remainder is 0. So how do we write this one? I'm going to go back to this problem again, okay? And then we're going to look at that and match it with it. So how do we write 24? So 24, guys, is written as 8 times 3 plus the remainder 0. Okay? So in that same fashion, I'm just going to mimic this in our polynomials. Our dividend, guys, is 3x squared plus 19x plus 28. Okay, that's like a 24. This is equal to, now this divisor is multiplied to the quotient. X plus 4 times 3x plus 7, and then whatever is left of the remainder is 0. So how we see that? This is x plus 4 times 3x plus 7. So let me write down again what everyone this means. Now this, guys, remember, is the dividend. X plus 4 is the divisor. 3x plus 7 is the quotient. These are the terminologies we give to them, and 0 here represents the remainder. Okay, so this is a simple way, a very simple example which will help us to learn about long division of polynomials. Now we're going to go ahead and apply it to other problems. The same procedure we're going to follow, guys. Okay, in this one, here we're going to divide x cubed minus 2x squared minus 9 by x minus 3. So as we have been doing, so the first thing we're going to do, guys, is we will write x minus 3, and then we will have this little, okay, let me just, need more space here. So x minus 3, I need the space for the quotient, guys, that's what I'm doing. Now, remember, very important, when we are writing down the dividend, we start with the highest term and we go one less than the highest term. So x cubed was the highest. The next is square. Yes, we have that. 2x squared. Now the next term should be a x, which we don't have. So we just write it down and write it as plus 0x. In the original problem, it's not there because when anything multiplied to zeros is 0, we don't write. But here it is helpful when we write it down, and you will see it later. Minus 9. Okay. Now, we are going to do the problem, apply the problem here. First thing is get rid of x cubed. In order to do that, we look at the coefficient. It is 1. Now, what should I multiply to x minus 3? I can get rid of x cubed. We all know it is x squared. Remember, we always go one at a time. The main term is the one we have to subtract. or cancel. So x squared now is going to multiply to both the terms in the divisor. So x squared times x is x cubed minus 3x squared, and you write those terms beneath the terms which have the same variables. So x squared within x squared. Now what do? We change the signs. So, and then we do the regular division kind of thing. Cancels out. What do we have? Plus 3x squared minus 2x squared. That means we are left with x squared. And then we need to get the next term, which is 0x. You get one at a time. Okay? Very important. So now this is the one which goes out, right? And we write plus 0 times x. Now, we have our terms here, x squared plus 0x, and we want to cancel x squared. We go back to the divisor and we say x is there. So that means what should I multiply to x? I should get x squared. It's a positive x because you have to keep in mind what's the coefficient too. So it's a positive x. Now then x multiplied to x is giving me x squared. x2 minus, that is minus 3x. And now we're going to change the signs as we have been normally doing. Minus and a positive, and the x squared with the minus x squared cancels out. A positive 3x and a positive 0x is simply 3x. And what is the last term left is a negative 9. We get that term here, minus 9. Now we have to multiply this divisor again by a term which will cancel 3x. And the number is 3. So we write positive 3. So 3 times x, 3x, minus 9. We normally go ahead and change the signs. And everything cancels out. We get a 0. So this original problem, so notice, oops. Okay, so our original problem is now x cubed minus 2x squared minus 9 is written as quotient times the divisor. This is x minus 3 times x squared plus x plus 3. Okay. Now, let's go ahead and do another problem. So now, we are going to divide the polynomial 2x cubed plus 14x squared minus 20x plus 7 by x plus 6. It's the same things, guys, we are following. It's just that we are just, trying to increase the difficulty of the problem. Okay, so let's write it down. X plus 6, 2x cubed plus 14x squared minus 20x plus 7. Okay, now remember, every time check the dividend. We are going at the highest power and go one at a time. Yes, we have a cube, we square, an x and a 7. Good to go. Now, usual, we have to cancel 2x cubed first. Now what are you having in x? So we're going to multiply by a 2. Remember this one, when you multiply the quotient with the divisor, it should exactly be 2x cubed. The rest we don't care. Okay? So here it is 2, an x, and a square. So what do you see? We get 2x cubed plus 12x squared. Squared beneath square, cube beneath cube, guys. Now change the signs. The normal thing. What do we get? 2x cubes cancels out and we have a 2x squared. Now what are we going to get down? 20x is going to come down, guys. So this comes down and we get negative 20x. Once again, the same procedure, we need to cancel 2x squared. So we multiply this divisor by 2x because we already have an x here, guys. Okay, so we have plus 2x. What do we see? 2x squared plus 12x. Then we're going to change the signs. This is going to be negative 32x. And now we are going to get the 7 down. Positive 7. So now we're going to cancel out negative 32. Remember, there's a positive x, so we have to multiply only by negative 32. So what do you see? Negative 32x minus 32 times 6, 12, 192. Now remember changing the signs. Now what are we left with? 199. Now this time we have a remainder left, okay? Now how do we write this problem? So this is important for us. So the problem was given to us was this is the dividend 2x cubed plus 14x squared minus 20x plus 7. Now that's the dividend. Now this is equal to, you multiply the quotient with the divisor. So we get 2x squared plus 2x minus 32 times x plus 6 plus then we are going to have is, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I forgot to write. So this is x plus 6, this plus, yeah. This would be, okay, yeah. Now this has to be divided. I forgot to write this one, guys, here. It is x, no, we don't need that, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, plus 199. That's how it's going to be, okay? So you write this expression as quotient multiplied to the divisor, and then when you, what is left is 199, and then that's how we get the answer. Okay, now let's try one more problem. Now here the polynomial is 5x cubed plus 6x plus 8 divided by x plus 2. Okay, so x plus 2, 5x cubed plus 6x plus, now remember, as we were writing, oh, there should be a square. We don't see a square. So go ahead, make sure you write down the square, guys. Plus 0x squared plus 6x, yeah, now it makes sense, plus 8. Remember, because in the division process, we will have an x squared, so you don't want to miss that one, okay? Now, remember, we're going to cancel 5x cubed first, so we're going to multiply this by 5x squared. So 5x squared times x is now 5x cubed. Remember, this expression has to be multiplied to 2 also, plus 10x squared. Changing the signs, the 5x cubed cancels out. We have a negative 10x squared. Now remember, we get the terms one at a time, plus 6x. Now we're going to cancel negative 10. Now, in order to do that, what are we going to do? Multiply the quotient here by minus 10x. So it's going to be negative 10x squared minus 20x. Now we're going to change the signs. A positive and a positive here. So the 10s cancel out. You have a 26x. Now what are we left with? An 8. Get that down. Positive 8. Now cancel 26x. So what do? Multiply by plus 26. So you have 26x plus 52. Changing the signs. The 26 cancels. We are left with negative 44. Now how do we write this expression? Remember, we write this as 5x squared negative 10x plus 26 equals 5x cubed plus 6x plus 8. Now you don't have to remember 0x squared. It is just when we're doing the process, the long division. Okay, x plus 2 plus, oh sorry, not plus, it's a negative 44, guys, remember. Minus 44. Okay, now one more and then we will be quite a little bit confident with doing long division. Okay, here's x cubed plus 512 and you want to divide by x plus 8. So x plus 8 first we write. Now when we write x cubed, remember there's no x squared, no x. We got to fill that little gaps, okay? 0x squared, 0x plus 512. Okay, now the first thing, we cancel x cubed. So that means we're multiplying by x squared. Coefficient is 1, okay? So we get what? X cubed plus 8x squared. What are we going to do? What are we going to do is change the signs. We are left with now negative x squared and this positive 0x is brought down. Now we have to cancel negative 8. That means we multiply on the quotient, we're going to add minus 8x. We get negative 8x squared. And negative 8 to a positive 8 is a negative 64x. Change the signs, guys. What are we left with? 64x and we get 512 down. Now, we want to multiply by 64 plus 64. What do we get? 64x plus 64 times 8, 512. And then we change the signs and everything is a 0. So here, this is a perfect scenario where this x plus 8 totally divides this term and the remainder is 0. So how do we write this one? We write x cubed. So let's write it down. X cubed plus 512 equals x plus 8 x squared minus 8x plus 64. Thank you.